State College Boulevard and near the Anaheim Resort area.
The Post also says the issue involves a handful of Anaheim's groundwater wells, which are experiencing technical issues. Anyone impacted should see improving water pressure over the next hour or so. Several people who claim to currently be at Disneyland have also posted online saying they were unable to use the bathrooms. We'll stay on top of the situation. We'll bring you any updates as they come into our newsroom.
Developing now at 8, an FBI search warrant served at a San Bernardino supervisor's home. We're live with what we know so far. A new video you'll only see on Fox. Good evening. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Christine Devine.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Glenn Walker. The situation is fluid. Not much information is being given out.
There are developing details at this hour. Fox 11's Laura Diaz joining us live with more. Laura?
Yes, Glenn and Christine, you're so correct that search warrant was served earlier today at the home of a San Bernardino County supervisor. We just left the neighborhood a short time ago, but neighbors in that area reacted with a lot of surprise.
It was really shocking to see everybody here today, all the FBI agents and all the sheriffs and stuff like that. It looks like they just served a search warrant early this morning. And they confiscated all kinds of stuff from his home.
This video shows agents at the home of County Board of Supervisor Kurt Hagman. Agents were seen at the home on Biscayne Street for hours, at times pulling boxes out of the residence. Now, the FBI said that the warrant is under seal and they could not confirm any details to Fox 11. But Hagman is the supervisor for the 4th District. He also serves as vice president of the Ontario International Airport Authority. A second warrant was served at a Monterey Place location in the city of Ontario. And coming back live here, we were there at the residence on that street for quite some time. And eventually I did go up and try to get somebody to talk to me. So I went up to the front of the house. I rang the Ring camera, nobody answered. And then a short time later, we were standing out front when all of a sudden a man emerged from the back. It looked to me like maybe he had gone to feed the dogs in the back. He starts walking toward us, but because of the glare, the sunlight was very, very bright, did not seem to realize that he was on camera. So let's look at that video now. It should run about 7 seconds or so of that person. We can't be 100% sure that that is the supervisor, but based on pictures I saw online, it does seem to resemble him. And now let's listen to what I said to him, trying to get him to say anything to us on the record. Excuse me, I don't know who that is. Excuse me, sir. Sir, Laura Diaz, Fox 11. Sir, would you talk to us? All right, so coming back live here in Chino, obviously he chose to turn his back to me and did not address anything to us, but we were not able to get any comment. Again, the FBI saying that they cannot comment on the case at all. We know that there was a second search warrant that was served in the city of Ontario. I wasn't at that location. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live from Chino, sending it back to the studio.
Laura, sounds like right now still a whole lot of questions on this one.
Exactly. I mean, we were able to see, my cameraman was, he got there before I did. They were carrying out boxes. Actually, one of them almost looked like something that you would carry out cold drinks in. Others resembled more boxes like you might keep folders or important documents in. But as to the nature of any of this, whether he is a source of investigation or they just needed information at that location, I can't be any more specific than that. Christine and Glenn, back to you.
Yeah, several raids today. I think another one down in Orange County, and one we're going to talk about in a second, but maybe eventually we'll get to be able to connect the dots.
All right, Laura.
Yes.
Thank you. Nowhere yet if that search was in any way related to another search warrant served today at a Beverly Hills mansion. But again, no details were released about the nature of the investigation because it is under seal. Let's talk about the weather. We're talking about another heat wave coming this week.
Yeah, they just, we've got consistent weather as far as that goes lately.
Is it called summer?
Yes, it is.
Star Harvey,
Late
how
July.
about that?
Yeah, it's feeling like all things summer. We did have some heat alerts. They were lifted yesterday evening, but we did have them reissued, and they'll become active as we push towards the end of this week. So we do have a rare ridge moving through the area, but again, obviously not uncommon and very strong. So that high pressure system dominating our weather pattern as we arrive at the end of our week, we'll definitely see those temperatures become hotter. We have an extreme heat warning in place, but also heat advisory. I'll talk more about those over the hour, but also we are looking at some coastal impacts. Before we get to that, let's talk about these temperatures dropping down to 74 degrees in downtown LA right now. Earlier today, we had our highs hit the upper 80s, so well above our normal for this time of the year. A lot of people moving to the coastline this week to get a dose of the cooler conditions. Right now, 71 degrees in Santa Monica, and Big Bear seeing a lot of heat this week as well. Those temperatures right now at 72 degrees. And if you are to the east of LA, but also across the San Fernando Valley, we do still have temperatures coming in the upper 80s to low 90s in the 8 o'clock hour. I'll be back with that 7-day. For now, back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Star. A warning tonight if you're outdoors. Rattlesnakes are also out in Southern California because of the hot weather. People are seeing snakes in unusual areas, not just on the hiking trails, but out on the streets in the suburbs like you're seeing right there. Wow. Fox 11's Gina Silva reporting from Camarillo.
It's not something you see every day. What appears to be two rattlesnakes lifting their bodies several feet off the ground and swaying back and forth as they face one another. Tony D'Amore was driving to work when he witnessed the wild scene.
Yeah, they were like twisting, almost like braiding together, and it was really weird.
It happened around 9 Tuesday morning. Tony pulled out his cell phone and captured what experts describe as a combat dance between two male rattlesnakes.
They were just in the bike lane of a very busy road. So that was Lynn and Las Brisas where they intersect.
If you see a rattlesnake, you don't want to tangle with it.
Lee Cantrell with the California Poison Control System says the agency has received about 250 calls involving rattlesnake bites in the first 6 months of this year. 3 people have also died.
This is unprecedented for us. I have been doing this job for 30 years, and I can only remember maybe 2 or 3 rattlesnake-related deaths in my whole career.
In one recent incident, a woman in Stevenson Ranch was rushed to the ICU and left with a swollen foot after she says she was bitten while tending to her flowers.
If we give enough antivenom, it will neutralize the circulating venom, and people tend to do pretty well.
If you run into a snake while hiking, don't panic. Most snakes are harmless. It's the rattlesnakes you need to be cautious around.
The only venomous snake we have in California are rattlesnakes, and they have rattles on their tails as a warning.
It was unbelievable.
For Tony, who captured a rare moment in the wild on a busy Thousand Oaks street, it's something he'll never forget.
I expect to see a snake here and there, especially now it's the season. But seeing the 2 of them kind of standing up like cobras, like we don't have cobras, so what's going on?
Lee Cantrell says snakes go where the food is, and that's why it's so important to get rid of rodents near your property to keep those snakes away. I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
Universal Studios has a new Fast and Furious roller coaster ride, but people who live nearby say they're hearing the screams from the rider testers.
Let's go live now to Fox 11's Ed Lascos in Universal City with the latest. Hear any screaming, Ed?
No screaming now, and I'll tell you why, because they're testing the ride, but there are no riders on board. Joe, take us into the story. Looking across Lancashire, there it is, the Fast and Furious, the newest attraction here at Universal Studios Hollywood, and the show shows us. Keep an eye on those tracks. You see them? There go the cars on the tracks of that sprawling roller coaster, but as it comes around, you have a better look at it here in a second. No riders on board, empty. They've been testing it, running it the last couple of hours as compared to yesterday when they had an apparent soft launch of the ride with with people on board, and that brought all the excitement and the screams. But it's really something to see, that sprawling outdoor roller coaster, the first in all of the park being outdoors. It runs from the top level to the bottom level, back up to the top level. Really a big attraction that everybody has been waiting for. Let's get to it. To the video we go. This is from the other side, if you will, the back side of the park, over in Toluca Lake, the neighborhood over there that's by the golf course, the Lakeside Golf Club. And the folks there said, oh, they've been hearing the screams when they do run the test with the people, the riders on board, as was the case yesterday, that apparent soft launch that they had. The folks up there and watching with excitement. And then from Skyfox, a better look at all this as we caught the ride yesterday and the riders on board going at high speeds on that track that goes all over, twisting and turning. Really big part of mimicking the movie itself, Fast and Furious. And with all that excitement, you bet it brings the screams and then the reaction from the neighbors. Listen, first of all, some of the screams from the riders yesterday.
When you hear always screams, that can be annoying. Yeah,
Especially at night.
Yes, definitely. It's like Halloween all year long.
Right in your backyard.
Right, yeah. And that's not cool.
People screaming, it sounded so loud. It sounded like the ride was maybe like a lot closer than what it actually is.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that it seems far away, but it actually sounds like it's rather close.
Before they built it, I mean, we couldn't really hear any of the rides, but now that they are testing it, it was definitely a lot louder than we've ever heard before.
But it does echo across, especially with the open golf course here. You have an open expanse of land and you have an elevated sound source, so it does carry.
And now you're looking live. Carries, as he says, echoes across that golf course. Joe, had a good look there at the ride as they're testing it out there again. No riders on that. For its part, Universal's been working with this with its engineers. They've installed some sound walls, some sound barriers at different locations. The bottom level there of the ride itself to try to muffle the sound. Also using some special material on the track itself. But it's the screams in those higher areas that seem to be echoing across at all the neighbors. Actually, they're having a neighborhood meeting in a couple of nights to talk about it. And Universal also, though, we understand from the neighbors, has had some folks out and monitoring in different locations along the neighborhood, not monitoring the sound that was coming when they were running some of that action yesterday with the riders on board to see exactly what kind of sound is coming out. But the neighbors concerned about this as the big ride, Fast and Furious, certainly getting a lot of attention in its early stages.
Any talk of maybe building a sound barrier, like a big wall?
Well, they have those. They have some of the walls that you may be able to see. Not over here, Joe. I don't know. We can't see because the trees, the bushes on the top of those palm trees are hiding it from this vantage point. But they have some walls down on a lower level. Walls that are rather similar to the type of sound barrier walls you see along the freeways to isolate the noise there going into neighborhoods. These walls are much taller on the bottom level, and you could see it from the backside when you're over there in the neighborhood. So they have them down there. They've been working with that, and obviously they were aware of it because they put these up even before we got to this stage in the operation. So they're still working on it now, and I'm sure they're going to be looking at other ways because, as the neighbors have been saying, they have a good relationship, despite saying and being upset with the screams. They have a good relationship with the park itself, saying they've been dealing with park officials for the last several years, even before all of this wasn't even there. It was on the planning stages. So they have a good relationship, and they say they're still talking, trying to figure out a way that everybody can be happy with all of this.
Yeah, I'm just envisioning the ways they do studies as they plan for something like this, and they probably talk to other theme parks and look at other rides and how it all works. But I wonder if the park envisioned this being an issue and a problem with the neighbors. I mean, I don't think we have the answer to it, but it makes you wonder.
Yeah, well, yeah, it does make you wonder, but I'm sure, they're top notch at what they do here, and you're right, they always consult everybody else. I'll just get out of the way, see if we see some more of the testing going on there as they laid it all up. But yeah, they certainly are studying it because, also think about Universal here in the studio. Before they started doing a lot of these rides, it was really the backlot with a lot of movie activity. So they're very good at all of that. And the thing with this, which is a lot of folks are saying, well, they have all the attractions here at Universal. They've had them for years and years, but this is the first. There goes some of the cars now. Again, and no riders on board. But this is the first outdoor roller coaster here in the entire park itself, so it's something new here at Universal Studios that they had to deal with. And think about it, you know, you have the Jurassic Park ride, that's on the other side, it's mostly inside. The Harry Potter roller coaster, that's enclosed as well. This is the first one that's sprawling from upper level, lower level, with its twisting, turning, and the cars going at high speeds. So it's something really that everybody is new for a lot of folks here, not just the park, but for the neighborhood itself.
Well, when a roller coaster car drops and also does a 360 at the same time, how could you not scream?
Right. And fans.
Yeah, that's the excitement, yeah.
Yeah, fans of the franchise, super excited about it. All right, Ed, we'll keep watching this one. Thanks so much. More news when we come back. First the fire, then the smoke, and the nauseating stench of tons of rotten food. Now, dangerous flies.
Yeah, that is the latest chapter in the nightmare Boyle Heights residents are living around the Lineage facility or putting up with. This is Lineage now moves forward with plans to rebuild. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez has the community's message tonight to county leaders.
Lineage is, there's a new application to replace the warehouse already to rebuild. And so I know at this
boos from the audience as LA County supervisors discussed the filing of a rebuilding permit by Lineage, even as Boyle Heights residents are here with concerns.
I swept up what I could, but still the flies didn't go away.
An explosion of green bottle flies in the Boyle Heights neighborhood surrounding the Lineage cold storage facility, where the cleanup of tons of rotten food continues after a fire that destroyed the facility mid-June. You don't get how bad this is, one resident told LA County Board supervisors in downtown LA, where residents and community groups described the issue.
Oh my God, the flies, and with the weather being hot, we are not able to cook. We can't even eat, because even if we have food outside, or we have food like on the table, the flies come in, they're fast spreaders.
Green bottle flies lay their eggs on open wounds in both humans and animals and can cause, quote, irritation, ulcers, and in some cases even death. According to a city commission pest inspection report, activists brought up to county officials.
We're saying, does somebody have to die before they actually protect the people?
From more than flies. These are photos one resident says are her son with a nosebleed the first day they returned to the neighborhood after staying away for 2 weeks in an Airbnb.
We came home that night, and during that night, my son had 4 nosebleeds just being there that evening. It's really like what's in that air that my son is, or we are breathing, that's causing such a rapid response.
And that's why we're here urging them to do a mandatory evacuation, to be able to remove people from harm's way, and so folks can be safe and breathe and not be worried about getting bitten by these flies that can kill them.
LA County Department of Health saying that residents are not being told they have to leave, they have to evacuate because there's no imminent threat to life. And the company is sitting in city property. Now, Lineage saying that they are adding more fly traps. They're doing the best they can. They've gotten out at least half the food. They're doing the best they can. We'll keep you updated. I'm Christina Gonzalez, downtown Los Angeles, Fox 11 News.
A TikTok chef with 9 million followers cooking up something special in Hollywood today.
He was serving lunch to hundreds of unhoused Angelinos. Fox 11's Rachel Aragon was there.
Guys, it's dinner time at the sorority house, and we're doing a spicy mango glazed salmon.
This is Kevin Ashton, better known to his millions of followers as Old School Kevmo.
We're gonna add some brown sugar. I got a big clump of garlic.
The veteran chef worked at restaurants for 35 years, but for the last few, he's been a chef at a sorority house at the University of Nevada, Reno, going viral for his calm demeanor and easy-to-follow instructions.
I brown it off. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and some pepper.
I love giving back to the community. I love the fact that anybody on social media has an opportunity to reach large groups of people.
The TikTok star using his platform and his pantry skills to feed hundreds of unhoused Angelinos in Hollywood on Tuesday.
They're so grateful. I mean, these are just amazing people. They're just people like you and I.
He came, he delivered his and shared his talent with us, provided not only a warm meal, but smiles, and people could connect with him.
Tuesday's event was organized by Better Angels, which strives to tackle LA's homeless epidemic. But Kevin has also helped many others through social media by sharing his own journey with metastatic melanoma.
They would leave in the comments how much I helped them or someone close to them.
Now, a stage 4 cancer survivor and viral chef, he's hoping to inspire others to use their talents to uplift others in need.
If you can and you have the opportunity, do it. Because at the end of the day, I think we all sleep a little bit better knowing that we helped out our fellow man.
What a treat. Thanks for watching. Cheers, everyone.
In Hollywood, Rachel Aragon, Fox 11 News.
All right, another look at that sunset on Santa Monica Bay. We'll be right back. We're following breaking news out of Sylmar. A cliff rescue is now underway. Sky Fox live above it right now.
According to LA Fire, this happened just before 8. A person, I guess in their car, went over the cliff and they were in the wash here in Pacoima, 25 feet down. We just saw a video of, a live shot actually, of them being extracted in the basket. You know how they do the lift, the person's in the basket and they lift. And we understand the person now being taken right here to the hospital. Sounds like either a really bad accident that they have to be flown, or just because it's in the wash, they couldn't get a vehicle down there to, let's say, an ambulance, for example, to get the person out.
Yeah, could be one or the other, but the good news is this driver of this vehicle is on his way to the hospital at this point. So hopefully not as bad as it may look.
Let's hope.
All right. Weather is sponsored by My Home Sold.
I love these sunset shots. I really do. You just can't beat it.
Tail end of the sunset right here.
Yeah.
All right.
From high atop Mount Wilson.
It's kind of comfortable out tonight.
Yeah.
That heat, we keep talking about it. Star Harvey.
It is very comfortable out there, and a beautiful glimpse of our sunset happened about a half an hour ago. So we are left behind with our view here up top our mountains with those gorgeous hues, yellows and oranges, some of my favorites as well. Now the conditions outdoors still pretty nice out there. We are at 8:26 on your Tuesday evening here, and we still have a lot of warmth to talk about. We are dominated by high pressure throughout most of our week here. We're getting a little bit of a break as that system has shifted off to the east of us, but will make a closer return before this work week comes to an end, and also looking to impact us across the weekend. So we're not just dealing with heat this week, we are also dealing with coastal impacts, and it's important that we talk about it because a lot of you in those interior sections will be escaping to the beach come this week when we see all of that heat or feel all of that heat. So it brings me right to Hurricane Genevieve sitting on the Baja coast there. And so with that system, that hurricane just really churning up, it is impacting our swells, especially for our south facing beaches. So it is bringing in some of those dangerous rip current risk, but we are also looking at elevated surf. Tonight, those surfs continue from 3 to 6 feet, but as we move into tomorrow, we are likely to see that surf increase anywhere from 5 to 8 feet, and we'll also be watching for those high tide times where we could see our tides getting higher than 6 feet at times, and of course the possibility of some of that minor coastal flooding moving over into tomorrow. We are dealing with these beach hazards at least to the first part of our weekend, but the even bigger story for some of us that will not be hitting the coastline or impacted by those areas will be those under the heat advisories, but also our extreme heat warning. You'll see highlighted in both the orange but also the pinks here on our screen, indication that it is due to get really hot. Our alerts will go into effect as early as Friday and carry us through Saturday as well as Sunday. Leads me right to our headlines. That dangerous heat is expected to build in during the end of this week. We are looking at the possibility of some record-breaking or tying heat by the time we arrive at not just Friday, but also Saturday. Our entire weekend is expected to be engulfed in this heat, and we are not getting much relief with our clouds diminishing overnight into the early mornings. We'll be left behind with some of those warmer conditions overnight, not allowing, again, for the cool off that we are usually used to. We'll, of course, be back with more news, but also look at your 7-day on the other side of this break.
Riverview. Live across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Tonight, West Hollywood residents are on alert after a pack of coyotes moved into an abandoned construction site.
Fox 11's Gigi Graciette spoke with concerned neighbors about the wild scene.
Neighbors now call this abandoned construction site in West Hollywood the Coyote Condos. And that's because a pack of coyotes are now living inside the shell of what was supposed to be an upscale housing complex on the corner of Romaine and Spalding. This morning we spotted this one with what appears to be a deformed or injured left fang. The coyote, one of at least 5 neighbors say they see and hear daily. And while many neighbors say they're worried about having coyotes, usually considered predators, out and about at all hours of the day,
people, feel insecure walking their dogs, little dogs at night. We have seniors walking in the neighborhood that are concerned that might not be able to fight off a pack. And now that she has babies that are nearly full grown, it's going to start getting worse.
They're also concerned about the building site that was abandoned years ago mid-project. It's not only an eyesore, they say, it's dangerous. They've already dealt with an encampment that started inside. That's gone. And now it's the wildlife.
Don't love the coyotes, but probably love these abandoned buildings less.
Neighbors also worry about their furry neighbors, from the community cats to the pets being walked by their owners to the coyotes themselves, who walk the street in this densely populated area that has plenty of traffic.
It's caused a lot of controversy in the neighborhood about people, whether they should be allowed to stay, feel sorry for them. But what is really sad, the saddest part of all of it, is that people who have cats leave their cats outside, and they claim that the cat prefers to be outside. Well, I don't think the cat would prefer to be the coyote's dinner.
Back here on Spalding and Romaine, the real issue, say neighbors, is the blight and the danger of having this abandoned building just sitting here. We're reaching out to the city of West Hollywood to find out what they plan to do about neighbors' concerns, both about the building and about the coyotes. In West Hollywood, Gigi Graciette.
Waymo is banned from charging its cars overnight at 2 Santa Monica stations because of the noise and the traffic they cause. According to court papers, attorneys say those living near the stations describe them as, quote, mini Las Vegas, living next door to a spaceship and a circus. In turn, Waymo has filed a lawsuit against the city of Santa Monica, saying the company has tried to reduce noise levels that's actually being made by residents interfering with operations.
A group of doctors working for the University of California system announcing plans to unionize. The campaign, called U.S. Doctors United, launched in front of Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center this afternoon. Attending doctors are organizing with the union SEIU, Doctors United. 10,000 doctors across the UC system are fighting for this.
Through SEIU, Doctors United, attending doctors across the UC system are building a unified voice to protect our colleagues, our patients, and the future of our profession.
This is the largest such effort for attending doctors in U.S. history. In a neighborhood often defined by headlines of tragedy, a radical documentary is doing something historians and police officials once thought impossible, helping silence the gunfire.
Here's a clip from Nothing to See Here, Watts.
This environment will bring the worst out of you, man, if you ain't strong.
They took my peace of mind. I can't trust nobody.
I'm not scared, I'm not shocked. I'm like, no.
We can't depend on nobody else to save Watts. If y'all want to save Watts, it starts within Watts. We Watts right here.
And we call this our silent march. Parents bring out their murdered loved one's shoes. These are little people, y'all.
Documentary didn't just film a community, it handed the cameras to rival gang members, mothers, and police officers tasked with patrolling the streets, forcing them to see one another through a new lens. The filmmakers joined us on Good Day LA to talk about how 20 iPhones sparked a movement.
It was crazy. I had the fortune of doing a ride along with the police in Watts, and I went out one night and two things happened. One, I saw 3 people get shot. One of them died, and none of it was on the news. Secondly, and more profound for me, I was talking to a gang member, and I said, you know, what made you join the gang? And he says, you know, my mom put me in the gang when I was 8 because they offered daycare and protection while she goes to work.
Oh my God.
And I was like, wow. You know, I'm well read, I'm well resourced, and I was totally unaware of this. And this is 10 miles from my home, you had ever seen.
How did you guys connect?
Yeah.
That was my question.
Well, I've been doing a lot of work with my foundation, Think Watts Foundation, and I have a significant background in music and things like that. So when Mike first entered into this journey of curiosity, hey, you got to reach out to Sticks. If you're doing anything in Watts, you got to talk to Sticks. So Mike calls me and was like, oh my God, I've been trying to reach out to you. I'm excited. Like, I got this idea, iPhones, and I said, no way, not happening. Because what I didn't want to happen was another poverty pimp story. I didn't want someone who doesn't look like the culture that lives in the community to come take advantage. But it wasn't until consistent communication, the intentions, and he told me in these exact words, I can't do this without you. It's not going to be authentic.
Think of it, there were 100 homicides in the 3 years of filming. There have been 0 gang-related homicides for 16 months.
Wow. How do
and
you
they've had a
that?
90% drop overall,
That's
and
like a
all
blueprint.
forms of violent crime were down, and they all had the opportunity to see each other's point of view. There was no forgiveness going on.
Right.
But they were willing to work with each other
To move forward.
for the benefit of their kids moving forward.
Of course.
You can catch Nothing to See Here, Watts, at the Lemley Monica Film Center until just this Thursday, July 30th. We have breaking news right here. CHP in pursuit of a motorcycle on the freeway going at a fast rate of speed.
Yeah, we're told the one is speeding. This started in Valencia just a few minutes ago, and I am going to guess that he's probably on the 5 freeway heading south into the San Fernando Valley. But again, a pursuit of a motorcycle, you know, it's dangerous enough with a car. But when you've got a motorcycle where they can really zip in around different cars and sneak up on other drivers and catch them off guard, this is an extremely dangerous situation. And of course, if he wipes out, the chance of survival is never good. Yeah.
You look at that high rate of speed, that motorcycle going so much faster than the vehicles speeding in between those lanes there. That's what scares me too, not just in a lane, but in between cars, splitting the lanes at that high rate of speed with the helicopter overhead. Very scary.
And you point out something interesting, because in California, if he was driving the speed limit, he could actually legally do that, go between cars. But, you know, at a high rate of speed, he's really sneaking up on vehicles like he's doing right there. Looks like he's now taking one of the exit ramps. Not exactly sure where this is, but now this pursuit will continue on a surface street.
Which makes you wonder if this person is trying to find a place to perhaps ditch law enforcement. It's hard when you have this helicopter overhead and can follow every move of that chopper. We don't see police cars directly behind in this shot, but with that high rate of speed and the way a bike can move, it's a bit harder for a car to keep up. But again, that night sun with that helicopter is a sign that this person is being followed quite closely.
And actually going at a real high rate of speed here, because he's actually on a surface street that's, for the most part, pretty clear. But again, the way there's a couple of pedestrians crossing, making another right-hand turn here onto another surface street. And, you know, this pursuit, well, okay, this might be what we're talking about. He may be in a familiar area.
Yeah, we talk about that. People who think that they got to bring this pursuit to an end, they know it's going to end somehow, somewhere. So they perhaps go to an area that is comfortable to them when it comes to family or friends or streets that they know. Oh, dead end, cul-de-sac here, dead end spot.
He turned down the wrong street. He made a mistake.
So if there's law enforcement behind him, which we don't know that there is, is he stopping the bike and getting off? He's actually trying to hide or park, or?
I think he's trying to hide the motorcycle, thinking he can hide it behind that vehicle.
Okay, if you own that bike, police probably have a pretty good idea then who you are. Not law enforcement, a different vehicle. I'm not sure what that vehicle is there in the red truck, or if they know what they're getting into there by being stopped in that location.
Yeah, joining us now is Tim Lynn, former law enforcement, also helicopter pilot. A lot of pursuits in his career. This guy just made a mistake. What do you think he's doing now?
It looks like, yeah, he just made a bad move here and got down a dead-end street and has decided to ditch the bike and go on foot. But I'm just checking radar to see if there's a CHP aircraft overhead. The CHP does fly airplanes on these and very easily can keep track of people and they not even know that he's being chased. You see him running across the street there. But I've been watching this, and he was going pretty quick. The ground units are staying way back and letting him run, which is what they've been doing recently, is just letting these guys chase out. But you see running there being followed by our helicopter, and that information is going to be then seen by the watch commander at whatever station is monitoring this, and they're going to be able to give that information off to the units on the ground to start closing in and try to pick this up. But right now I'm trying to search the area and see if I see the aircraft in the area. But right now I'm not really seeing it at this point. But it's just a matter of time. I'm sure somebody has eyes on this person for the length of time that they were chasing him on the freeway. And for them to get out at this point, it's very dark for the camera on Skyfox, but the thermal imaging on the aircraft that are overhead have absolutely no problem keeping track of this person as he moves through the darkness and tries to hide under trees moving through. So it's just a matter of time. We'll keep an eye on this and see how it ends up. But right now I'm still looking to see where it possibly ended up.
Okay, if that is him right there who we saw, he's trying to pull the old I'm just casually walking down the street on a pleasant evening. We've seen this before where they just try to pretend they're just an innocent person walking down the street.
Yeah, and they try to blend in. They'll start changing clothes. They'll start keeping an eye out for the police coming. Just if they can act normal and just kind of stay out of the way and not really bring any attention to themselves, then they usually get away with it. But right now, there's not a chance this person is going to be able to do that. Right, I'm kind of looking now to see, and I don't see any law enforcement aircraft over the end of this pursuit. So more than likely, as I said, the different stations, the different offices have feeds that they watched along with us, and I'm sure the dispatch center and watch commander is keeping an eye on the media footage that's out and is directing in the ground units to this person, and he'll be taken into custody shortly. Sooner or later, you're going to see units start rolling up, and this suspect try to either blend in or hide as he sees the first unit. But right now, it's just a person walking along. Nobody in the area really knows what's going on. It looks like he's lost a jacket, and I didn't see the helmet when he got off. But I'm walking, taking my evening stroll here, and not having any issues. So, but for the length of time that he was in this pursuit, I'm sure units in the area were keeping track of it, and we should have black and whites pulling up pretty quickly.
All right, we will continue to monitor this situation. Again, he's just walking down the street. Hopefully, as Tim said, law enforcement will show up very soon and take this motorcycle rider into custody. We'll be right back.
To recover over $2 billion in settlements for people just like you. And we only get paid.
The memories with the FIFA Men's World Cup having come and gone. A look now at the lasting legacy.
I wanted one more taste of it. With Los Angeles having been a host city, we were looking at one of the many fan events over the summer. The host committee now reflecting on the success and looking ahead to Super Bowl 2027 at SoFi Stadium. Joining us now is Jason Crutch with LASEC, the Los Angeles Sports Entertainment Commission. Are you still riding the high?
We are.
You are.
It's been an amazing summer, and it's still fun to look back, see that footage, and just kind of relive some of those memories that we all had over the last 39 days.
39 days.
Now, you had more than most. You just told us you have to go to all the World Cup games at SoFi, but just kind of sum up the role of what it's like to play a host for something like this.
Yeah, it was really trying to create a welcoming environment. So everything from the welcome branding, decor, the transportation plan, and you're really just making sure that residents and visitors were ready to come celebrate the FIFA World Cup in Los Angeles. That was things like the 8 matches that we just talked about, but then also all the fan events, the FIFA Fan Festival, the fan zones, and really trying to create this really come together moment for visitors and residents.
Well, obviously with the World Cup airing on Fox, we did a lot of this coverage. The long-term economic benefit is $1.1 billion. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think really when you see major events like this, they bring a huge influx of visitation. So people coming from other countries and around the United States to come celebrate and be part of this event. And then really all that spending and everything that's going on over the duration of the tournament. And so that plus the media visibility that the broadcast partners like Fox, the international broadcasters bring to a project like that, all rolls up into really what makes that economic impact number.
I keep looking over at the video of all the fun events that you guys hosted and we covered.
All right, the commission, you guys did a little something extra. You wrote basically a thank you letter to Angelenos.
Yeah, we did. It was important. The community really came together. I mean, we hosted the FIFA Fan Festival was the LA Memorial Coliseum, and then the 10 fan zones were in different neighborhoods all over the Los Angeles region. And we just saw so many communities come together, so many different people celebrating, that it really was Los Angeles welcoming the world for all 39 days of that tournament. Felt like it was, it was just fun to say thank you to everybody, because the bars, the restaurants, the communities, celebrations, everybody came together and made this what the FIFA World Cup is, and really that lasting memory.
I think the bars and restaurants are thanking you.
I would say the stories that we've heard have been great.
Yeah.
And we're talking hundreds of thousands of people enjoying this.
Yeah, there was about 560,000 people attended the 8 matches. Our official fan events, which was that fan festival and fan zones, there was over 250,000 people that attended. And then there was over 300 community events that were really just driven by the community that we were following that had thousands more fans. So you add all that up, I mean, people were out in droves really celebrating the World Cup this summer.
So what you all do is you work with the big events. You're looking ahead to the Super Bowl.
It's amazing. Already starting to fast forward. Tomorrow, the 29th, is 200 days to go to the Super Bowl, which is going to be on February 14th, 2027, SoFi Stadium. Second time this decade. Returns after 5 years, and which will be another amazing celebration, keeping this momentum going, football to football, and really kind of like building on what we just established for FIFA World Cup, and then really getting ready to welcome the NFL season, and then that road to Super Bowl.
Los Angeles, we have all these facilities, so we're able to, whether it's the Olympics, the Super Bowl, or whatever. But if Stan Kroenke had not moved the Rams back here and built SoFi Stadium, would we have managed to get the World Cup back in LA, do you think?
I think if the World Cup, it's hypothetical, so if the World Cup was back in North America, I think there would be a strong likelihood that Los Angeles would be a player. I mean, just the market, the media market, the soccer-loving community that we have, I would imagine so, but hard to know. I mean, I certainly don't know if we would have had the opening match. I don't know if we would have had 8 matches, and I don't know if we would have been able to put on the show quite like we were able to do this summer.
And so fans can look forward to Super Bowl kind of events like that also?
Yeah, so the Super Bowl will bring community events, a really week-long celebration right at the end of the football season. So fans can look forward to a Super Bowl experience event that's going to take place at the LA Convention Center. Obviously Super Bowl Sunday, which will be at SoFi Stadium, and really just another big celebration of culture and pageantry, and really the community coming together for the NFL.
And you're doing Olympics too?
Our organization is not directly involved, but certainly supporting everything that LA20 has. So all these major events, the FIFA World Cup and the Super Bowl, all lead towards 28. There's all amazing learnings and best practices and things that we can apply. So continually to work closely and share that information and just making sure, Los Angeles delivers an exceptional experience for any one of these events.
I don't think there's another region in the country that could do this back to back to back in a 2-year period than Los Angeles. You can take a lot of civic pride in that.
Yeah, I certainly do. Yeah.
Jason McCrutch, thank you so much. We'll see you again.
We'll be back.
To learn more about all the events the Commission's planning, you can go to lasec.net and check it out.
All right, let's get a final check of your forecast with meteorologist Star Harvey.
Let's do it. We are taking a wider look across the country here to see what's happening elsewhere. While we are on the drier side across most of the West Coast, we do have some wet weather moving across portions of the Central Plains, drawing you in closer to Colorado. We do have some of those storms moving over towards Oklahoma into portions of Kansas as well. Over to the East Coast, we do have a bout of wet weather moving across portions of the tri-state here. We do have alerts in place, thunderstorm alerts, but also some of those flood advisories. A lot of heat also headed down to the deep south. So we're looking not just at Texas, but states like Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. So if you got family and friends, not a bad idea to check on them. We are also expecting our own heat wave this week by Friday, moving into our weekend. But most important right now, I do want to focus on some of these coastal impacts because we will have a lot of us that will be flocking to the coastline to escape some of this heat come this week. We are tracking our Hurricane Genevieve setting off the Baja coast there. It is allowing for some of those south swells to really impact our waters. And so while right now we are under dry conditions, we are looking at our beach hazard statements, dangerous rip currents this week, but also those large breaking waves. We are looking at 3 to 6 feet currently, but as we move into tomorrow through the remainder of this week, we will see that wave height go up as much as 8 feet at times, with the likelihood of some of that minor coastal flooding. And yes, we'll also be watching for that high tide cycle because we could see our waves getting higher than 6 feet during those times. Now, impressively, July has had a lot of days, all of the red boxes, where temperatures have managed to make it above their normal, which today is 83 degrees. So a lot going on for us this month. We didn't have many days of the blue boxes where our temperatures did come in below their normal, and that is not going to be the case moving through the remainder of this week. Temperatures once again above their normal, going into the 80s for tomorrow, and then by the time we arrive at Friday across the weekend, temperatures in the 90s. We'll be right back after.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. We're not done yet. You've got more news.
That's right. LA Live News Tonight will continue at 9 right after the break.
Live across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Now at 9, FBI raids. Federal agents execute search warrants at a San Bernardino supervisor's home and a Beverly Hills mansion. And tragedy after a pursuit crash, a Riverside woman speaks out after a hit-and-run driver kills her husband as they planned for their first child. Plus,
oh my God, the flies, and with the weather being hot, we are not able to cook. We can't even eat.
fly infestation in Boyle Heights. Neighbors demand an evacuation as rotting food at a burned-out facility spars dangerous pests.
As we get towards the end of our week, we are expecting the heat to return for us here across Southern California. I'll have the details on how hot we're expecting things to get coming up in my full forecast.
Ed Lasco's here tonight live outside Universal Studios Hollywood. Look, there it is, testing the Fast and Furious ride. No riders on board now, but when there are riders on board, there are screams, and that has neighbors screaming out. Stand by for the latest.
Breaking right now, a motorcycle suspect under arrest. We were watching this during the 8 o'clock hour. A motorcycle moving down the 5 freeway from the Valencia area at a high rate of speed, exited the 5 freeway in Northridge, went down a couple of surface streets and finally pulled over at a dead end, tried to hide his motorcycle behind a vehicle and casually walked away from his motorcycle and down a couple of streets for about 10 or 15 minutes. But finally, law enforcement arrived on the scene and the suspect gave up without a fight. And this is at Arleta off of Osborne, again in the Northridge area. And again, the motorcycle suspect really driving dangerous, but he has now been taken into custody, and that is the end of another pursuit. Meantime, breaking news out of Sylmar. Crews executed a cliff rescue. Sky Fox over the scene as LA Fire reports a person was trapped 25 feet down in the Pacoima Wash. This all started just before 8 o'clock this evening. That individual was rescued and taken to the hospital about 30 minutes ago. Good evening. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Glenn Walker. An FBI search warrant served at a San Bernardino supervisor's home. We're live with what we know so far, and new video you'll see only on Fox. Laura Diaz joining us live now from Chino Hills with more. Laura?
Warrants were served at the home of a San Bernardino County supervisor. We were able to confirm that that was his home. This is according to neighbors who live right down the street. They said indeed that the supervisor lives there along with his wife, and they had this reaction earlier today.
It was really shocking to see everybody here today, all the FBI agents and all the sheriffs and stuff like that. It looks like they just served a search warrant early this morning, and they confiscated all kinds of stuff from his home.
This video shows federal agents at the home linked to County Board of Supervisor Kurt Hagman. Agents were seen at the large home for hours in the 3000 block of Biscayne Street. Now, at times, they were seen carrying out boxes. Fox 11 contacted the FBI regarding the execution of the warrants. We were told the warrant is under seal and they couldn't comment on the nature of the investigation. Hagman is the supervisor for the 4th District. He also serves as VP of the powerful Ontario International Airport Authority. A second warrant was served at Monterey Place in Ontario. Again, we have no details on the nature of that search. Now, coming back live here in Chino, I want to say again that I did spend some time talking to that neighbor, and he told me that in fact he thought Hagman was a great neighbor, that he had been involved in helping them to get lights on the street, and also he said that he had participated in getting one of the streets paved. So he thought he was a very good neighbor. That's how he described him. Now we're going to show you some video because I approached the gate of the address we were given. I walked up to the gate, and initially I tried to ring the bell. Nobody responded. And then a short time later, we saw a man emerge. He was walking toward us. Now, keep in mind, it's the bright sunlight of the day. It's a very hot day here in the IE. So the person is walking toward me, then seems to realize that I'm a member of the media and turns, and now listen to what I tried to get him to respond to me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't know who that is. Excuse me, sir. Sir, Laura Diaz, Fox 11. Sir, would you talk to us? I don't know for sure that is indeed the supervisor. In comparing pictures on the internet, he certainly appeared that he might be at least related to him. So that is the interaction that I had a short time ago. Again, neighbors telling me that he does live there with his wife, that he is a good neighbor, but of course they knew nothing about the investigation. They said they did watch for hours, though, as those federal agents spent time there on the property. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live from Chino, sending it back to the studio.
All right, thank you, Laura. Another search warrant was served today at a Beverly Hills mansion. No word yet if that search was related to the one in Chino. So far, again, no details being released about the nature of the investigation because it is under seal. Residents and visitors in Anaheim are experiencing water pressure issues, including in parts of downtown, State College Boulevard, and near Disneyland. The city says technical problems with several groundwater wells are to blame, but improvements should take place at any minute now. Some Disneyland guests have also reported that the bathroom access had issues. Well, if you're planning to cool off at the beach, be cautious in the water. Lifeguards are warning of rough ocean conditions. Take a look at this video out of Venice earlier today. Lifeguards rescuing a woman from the water, and over the weekend, nearly 2,000 ocean rescues were reported here in Los Angeles County alone. The dangerous surf fueled by Hurricane Genevieve could create waves of up to 11 feet in some areas. Heat and high surf are expected to last through the week, with temperatures soaring up to 110 degrees in some parts of Southern California. And here's a live look now at Santa Monica Pier. Let's see, the temperature is 76.8 degrees on Saturday. That's the highest July reading ever recorded at the pier, adding to the rising humidity felt across Southern California. In fact, you can see it there on the camera lens. Let's check in with meteorologist Star Harvey.
Yeah, you know, Glenn, that's going to be some of the reasons why people are wanting to head out to the coast this week. One being the fact that we are going to see that be some of the cooler areas, especially with all of the heat packing in our interior sections this week. But also because those water temperatures, they are warming up for us as we are through this season here. So a few things that we do have to be aware of, because in addition to the heat, we are also tracking some coastal impacts. And yes, a big part of that having to do with Genevieve, Hurricane Genevieve, sitting off to the south of us, really drawing in some of those south swells. Otherwise, our extreme heat warning still in place through this week, and our heat advisory also expected to carry us at least until the end of our work week. Temperatures right now 74 degrees out in downtown LA. Santa Monica, where we just saw that nice little view, that live camera, temperatures currently in the lower 70s, and our mountains also still tracking temperatures in the 70s in this hour. We're holding on to triple digits down in our low deserts, but a little bit cooler out in areas like Oxnard and Santa Barbara. When I get back, we'll have a look at some more of those alerts, but also the triple digit numbers showing up in our 7-day forecast. Glenn.
Thank you, Star. The family of a killed Riverside Kaiser Permanente employee was planning to have their first child. Tonight, they're planning a funeral. Peter Mullis was struck and killed by a police pursuit suspect in a hit and run. And now that driver is under arrest, and Peter's wife is sharing the story of the life and future they were supposed to have together.
He was the kind of man that this world really needs.
One moment, Peter Mullis was walking back to work from lunch. The next, his life was over. Police say a driver who sped off from a traffic stop barreled down Magnolia Avenue and struck the 42-year-old Kaiser Permanente employee near Riverside Medical Center, then drove off. That driver, 62-year-old Gene Amos Cunningham, caught a day after the crash. Now Peter's wife is left trying to make sense of a future without the man she says was everything.
He was a hero. He was a safe space, a stellar husband.
Peter spent more than a decade working in radiology at Kaiser. In a statement, the hospital called his death a tragedy and says its focus is on supporting his family, friends, and co-workers. Those co-workers remember someone who could brighten any room.
He was great. He was a great guy, and it's so sad to hear that happened to him.
But for Layla, the hardest part isn't just losing her husband, it's losing the future they had spent 10 years fighting for. After a decade of infertility, the couple had finally created 2 embryos. Their embryo transfer was scheduled in less than 3 weeks.
I had daydreams. I would dream about the simplest thing, just on the couch and, putting his hand on my tummy.
Now she'll move forward without him physically by her side. But she says their children will grow up knowing exactly who their father was.
Peter is the man that all men should strive to be. No matter how big or small I got, he loved me all the same.
Well, Layla says her focus now is on honoring Peter's legacy and making sure the children they fought so hard to have know the extraordinary man their father was. We'll be right back. First the fire, then the smoke, and the overwhelming stench of rotting food. Now swarms of dangerous flies. That's what Boyle Heights residents near the Lineage facility are dealing with. This as Lineage moves forward with plans to rebuild. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez shares their urgent plea to county leaders.
Lineage there's a new application to replace the warehouse already to rebuild, and so I know at this
boos from the audience as LA County supervisors discussed the filing of a rebuilding permit by Lineage, even as Boyle Heights residents are here with concerns.
I swept up what I could, but still the flies didn't go away.
An explosion of green bottle flies in the Boyle Heights neighborhood surrounding the Lineage cold storage facility, where the cleanup of tons of rotten food continues after a fire that destroyed the facility mid-June. You don't get how bad this is, one resident told LA County Board supervisors in downtown LA, where residents and community groups described the issue.
Oh my God, the flies, and with the weather being hot, we are not able to cook. We can't even eat because even if we have food outside, or we have food like on the table, the flies come in. They're fast spreaders.
Green bottle flies lay their eggs on open wounds in both humans and animals and can cause, quote, irritation, ulcers, and in some cases even death. According to a city commission pest inspection report, activists brought up to county officials.
We're saying, does somebody have to die before they actually protect the people?
From more than flies. These are photos one resident says are her son with a nosebleed the first day they returned to the neighborhood after staying away for 2 weeks in an Airbnb.
We came home that night, and during that night, my son had 4 nosebleeds just being there that evening. It's really like what's in that air that my son is, or we are breathing, that's causing such a rapid response.
And that's why we're here urging them to do a mandatory evacuation, to be able to remove people from harm's way, and so folks can be safe and breathe and not be worried about getting bitten by these flies that can kill them.
LA County Department of Health saying that residents are not being told they have to leave, they have to evacuate because there's no imminent threat to life. And the company is sitting in city property. Now, Lineage saying that they are adding more fly traps. They're doing the best they can. They've gotten out at least half the food. They're doing the best they can. We'll keep you updated. I'm Christina Gonzalez, downtown Los Angeles, Fox 11 News.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
All right, let's check in once again with meteorologist Star Harvey.
Right, Glenn, that's a beautiful view there down into the San Fernando Valley basin there. Gorgeous conditions throughout our Tuesday here. Even tonight, those temperatures still on the milder side currently. And as we do make it through the remainder of this week, temperatures will still be on the hotter side, but we are expecting temperatures to increase as we do move into Friday and across the weekend. So we have a few alerts in place. We do have I'd say rare, but also very strong ridge to thank for all of the heat really packing in across Southern California this week. So bringing not just those hot conditions, but also hazy and humid at times. That system has shifted off to the east, but it will slowly but surely make its way back towards our area. So we couple that with a lot of that moisture from offshore. We are also tracking Genevieve, Hurricane Genevieve. It will stay offshore, but still we are seeing those impacts across the Pacific. So some of those impacts do look like rough surf. So we do have an advisory in place. It will go through our week and into the weekend. So from this evening into tomorrow, we will see an increase of those waves going from 3 to 6 feet over to 5 to 8. Again, dangerous rip currents is still a factor, and we're also tracking the possibility of some of that minor coastal flooding due to that high tide time, where we could see also those surf getting as high as several feet at times. Our heat advisory in place through Friday into the weekend, and with that we are also having an extreme heat warning where we could potentially see temperatures make it into the triple digits, which could potentially lead to heat related illnesses. And so of course our headlines talking about the heat on top of the heat. So dangerous heat building in for us by Friday. That heat is expected to peak not just Friday but also Saturday. Those will be 2 days that we do have the potential to see some of those record breaking or record tying heat numbers in place, and that'll be the case through the weekend. We are also looking at our nights not getting much relief there because we will see those overnight clouds into the morning hours diminishing. So we'll be watching for that, and I just want to give you a quick check at those temperatures and what we're expecting through the remainder of this week. 83 degrees is our normal for LA this time of the year, but you can see we're well above that through the middle of this week, and then those temperatures really soaring as we push into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be right back after this break.
California Pizza Kitchen, founded back in 1985, remains to this day one of the most popular restaurants not only here in California but all across the country. Rick Rosenfield, who founded CPK with his partner Larry Flax, has published a book, The California Pizza Kitchen: How Two Federal Prosecutors Changed the Way America Eats Pizza. Rick Rosenfield here to talk about the book and the secret to CPK's success. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right, before we talk about the book, there was an article in the California Post which prompted an editorial piece by the Post. You said that if you started CPK today, it would actually be called the Florida Pizza Kitchen. Why is that? I think I know why, but
that's definitely caused some controversy. First, I want to emphasize I'm not currently involved in CPK, and they're very proud. They're very proudly Californian, and I love California. But I am concerned about the direction that the business environment's taking. And I was teasing about Florida Pizza Kitchen, but it's sort of a good idea. I can see the jerk chicken pizza,
Sure.
Cabano chicken pizza. Yeah, but in seriousness, I am concerned about the business environment and anti-business environment. It's harder now with the regulatory environment to build in California than it was when Larry and I built the chain, and that's real, and I don't mind speaking about it.
What do you think is going to change that? Hitting rock bottom or what?
It's going to have to perhaps hit rock bottom until people realize it, that a business environment that is not friendly is not helpful. You know, it's interesting. I listen and I hear, well, California is a $4.2 trillion economy. It is. It's a powerhouse. The question I sort of ask myself, is that because of the current administration, right, or despite it?
Yeah.
Right. And I don't mean it about administration, but I am talking about the continuous policy that seems to be demonizing businesses instead of creating a friendly environment. And what I found in Florida is a very friendly business environment.
Good business model for everybody. All right, when things were better back in 1985, you were a successful prosecutor along with your partner, and you came up with this idea of running a restaurant. Your wife Esther's here with us. What was her reaction to that?
Well, she grew up in her daddy's diner in Birmingham, Alabama, and she thought she had married this successful lawyer, and she didn't really want to do it. But she did, and she was all in. She went to work as the first hostess for months, which was great for our business.
And now, of course, it was in Beverly Hills, the flagship. All right, two things I read that were key to California Pizza Kitchen's success. That would be the name and how you came up with that after dinner with some couple from Rhode Island. And the menu, which was supposed to be, in the beginning, more about pasta than pizza.
Yeah, originally the idea was a pasta cafeteria, and we saw something like that, and we saw this pizza going around. We said, let's do pizza. And somewhere that day, between Larry and I, as we had been law partners after being prosecutors, we were law partners for 13 years. We kicked it around, we bounced it and said, no, let's put pizza in. Wait a minute, let's do this new style of pizza, put that wood-burning oven in the center of the restaurant and make it a very family-friendly restaurant. That was the end of the pasta idea.
All right, so of course the signature pizza is the barbecue chicken pizza. Barbecue sauce instead of tomato sauce. How did that come about?
That was in the original menu, and it opened our eyes to all this possibility of getting away from tomato sauce, but taking ideas or concepts people wanted to eat. Thai chicken pizza, BLT pizza, but had never seen on a pizza before.
All right. Any advice for anybody that reads your book, they get inspired to start a restaurant? What advice do you have?
Well, when Larry and I came up with, we thought we were very smart lawyers. We came up with this concept, this new style of pizza. When we opened the restaurant, we were in business. And we learned the difference between a concept and a business. And in the end, it's all about people. Your ability to motivate people, to set standards, and have people share your vision and come along for the ride.
Well, I think a lot of people have come along for the ride, and it's a great success story. Rick Rosenfield, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right, again, the book, California Pizza Kitchen, How Did Two Federal Prosecutors Change the Way America Eats Pizza? Go buy the book, folks. It's a good read. Thanks.
Morgan, live across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Universal Studios has a new Fast and Furious roller coaster ride, but some people who live nearby say they are hearing the screams from the ride testers. Let's go live now to Fox 11's Ed Lascos in Universal City with the latest. Ed?
And Glenn, really, it is all about the new Fast and Furious ride. The thing is, it is the first outdoor roller coaster ride here at Universal Studios Hollywood, and being outdoors, that brings the screams and the noise and everything else. Joe, if you will, take us into the story. We'll look across Lancashire. There it is. The park closed at 9, but in the darkness you can still see that sprawling, winding track up there as it winds through. No more test rides here over the last few hours. Finally stopped a little while ago. No riders on board, but when there are riders on board, there are screams. Watch. Just some of the screams echoing out. No wonder a neighbor here says it's like Halloween all year long.
When you hear always screams, that can be annoying. Yeah.
Especially at night.
Yes, definitely. It's like Halloween all year long.
Right in your backyard.
Right, yeah. And that's not cool.
And we could hear the screams, and it was pretty intense.
Yeah, I kept bringing up that I just couldn't believe that we just kept hearing it throughout the entire walk that we were on.
Oh, they can hear it and see it from their neighborhood here on Valley Spring Lane. It's across from the Lakeside Golf Course. Now you can see it, the new Fast and Furious roller coaster at Universal Studios Hollywood. This from an apparent soft launch of the ride Monday. It's the park's first outdoor roller coaster. That's important as it rockets its riders on a sprawling track from the upper to lower levels of the park, all at high speeds, all with its twists and its turns and its screams.
People screaming, it sounded so loud. It sounded like the ride was maybe like a lot closer than what it actually is.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that it seems far away, but it actually sounds like it's rather close.
And they're all the way across that golf course here in Toluca Lake. Universal continues testing the ride, here running the cars with no riders on board. See, they're empty this earlier today. And it's installed these large sound barriers, see them down there, hoping to block out much of the noise, but it is the screams that sound out the loudest.
But it does echo across, especially with the open golf course here. You have an open expansive land and you have an elevated sound source, so it does carry.
It does carry, he says. Now you're looking live, the Fast and Furious ride for the neighbors. They say they're having a neighborhood meeting later in the week, stressing they've really been good neighbors. They all get along with the park and have been getting along even before they started building this outdoor roller coaster. And the neighbors say that's their hope, that they can continue to have good relations with the park and work out something with those screams. But they all talk about it. They all have heard the screams, and that's only been in the test situations when they had that soft launch, if you will, yesterday. So they're also thinking what it's going to be like when this thing is running. One of the neighbors said the plan was maybe there would be a ride or the cars would circle the track every 55 seconds or so that they're saying it may bring a lot more screams than what they've heard so far, Glenn. So they'll see how this meeting goes, but they're really hoping that they can work out, everybody could be happy when they finally work out a settlement with all of this.
Yeah, so you mentioned the sound barriers. Is there any way to expand that? I mean, I don't see how they can stop this from the noise going in the neighborhood.
Well, that's a good question. Not being an engineer, your guess is as good as mine. I'm sure they're working on it. Universal's been having, according to the neighbors, some monitors out here, third-party monitors who've been monitoring with their big microphones, if you will, monitoring the sound that was coming, even when they were doing some of the test rides earlier without any riders on board. So obviously the park is still looking at ways to make improvements, and who knows exactly what they might be coming up with. They put a lot of thought into it so far with some of the walls. Joe's giving us a look through the darkness, and you could still see them. They appear sort of a whiter in color, a brighter color that might look part of the facade itself, but and that's how well they build these sound barriers, because they blend in very well and are designed, as you know, to buffer the sound, to buffer those screams.
Well, they've been good neighbors for decades. Hopefully they can get this worked out. Thanks, Ed. Well, the man accused of ordering the 1996 murder of hip-hop legend Tupac was back in a Las Vegas courtroom earlier today. A judge denied a defense request to block key recordings in the trial of Dwayne Davis. Davis's attorney argued the 2008 police recording was made without his knowledge, but the judge ruled it admissible. Another motion about hearsay testimony is still under debate.
I want everyone who's going to get up there
have the ability to say what they're going to say, I go after it, but not on something like this, where I have to go after and chase rabbits through the snow, trying to figure out how I'm going to tell this jury why you can't believe that snitch is up on the stand.
Prosecutors say the testimony could reveal gang conflicts tied to Shakur's death. With the trial 2 weeks away, tensions are already high in court. Well, federal prosecutors and the SEC are investigating Dodgers and Lakers owner Mark Walters' insurance businesses over $16 billion in loans. The Wall Street Journal says loans were directed to his tied companies without proper disclosure. Walter has not been charged, and his company is cooperating. A former aide to Governor Gavin Newsom has detailed their affair from over 20 years ago in a Vanity Fair essay. Ruby Rippey revealed how the relationship, which began when Newsom was San Francisco mayor, fueled her struggle with alcohol and became a turning point in her life. Newsom apologized publicly years ago, calling it a brief affair. Rippey emphasized personal accountability, but noted the power imbalance. She's been sober for 20 years, and she has rebuilt her life. California Republican gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton putting a spotlight on his Democratic opponent Xavier Becerra today. Hilton speaking in Pomona, highlighting whistleblower allegations involving a migrant child facility that operated during Becerra's tenure as U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary.
Steve Hilton, thanks for being here, joining us live right here in studio. We're going to start with that very issue that was the subject of today's event. So you say Becerra's tenure at HHS was marked by poor conditions, lack of accountability at the Pomona Migrant Child Facility. We do have a response we want to share with you and our viewers here. This is from Becerra's campaign, where Secretary Becerra rebuilt the child protection systems Trump gutted. Steve Hilton has proudly allied himself with the president who put those children in harm's way, who illegally sent a father to a foreign prison, whose separation policies continue to take children away from their parents, and whose ICE agents shot 2 fathers dead this month. Hilton is bought in. He doesn't get to cash out now. Okay, your response.
So it's laughable because it's the direct opposite of the truth. I mean, wait till you hear, and I'm saying this to everybody watching and everyone in California, the full extent of Javier Becerra's crimes as a secretary in the HHS department. It was, I think, one of the worst scandals in U.S. government history. Let's just look at the numbers here. During the Biden open border years, when Becerra was the secretary, what he did to save his own political reputation, that's the only reason, I'll get to that in a second, was unconscionable when you hear the stories of the children who were hurt so badly by what he did. But the numbers are shocking. 479,000 unaccompanied children came across the border in those 4 years. They were all, every single one of them, in Becerra's care. That's how it works. HHS has responsibility for the children, not DHS. It's Health and Human Services. Of those 479,000 children, because Becerra dismantled the vetting that was in place under the Trump administration, where if a child comes in unaccompanied, the job of Becerra's agency is to find a safe place for them to go, to check who those adults were, what are their names, what are their addresses, fingerprint, ID, all of that was dismantled by Becerra because he wanted to get them out of his camps. As a result, thousands of children were sent to child sex traffickers. They were sent into slave labor. They had horrific injuries. And in the camps, you had sexual abuse, physical abuse. You had whistleblowers who were calling this out, fired and retaliated. And we're just at the beginning of this scandal. As we go forward in this campaign, this will be a defining issue for Becerra. He's asking us to vote for him based on his experience. Well, we're going to tell everyone about his experience because it is absolutely disqualifying.
All right, let's talk more about the race. A Public Policy Institute of California poll released last week found that the man you're talking about, Becerra, he's actually leading in this race in the polls by a pretty wide margin right now over you.
That's right. Well, look, that's the basic position. Been for a long time in California in terms of the Democrat-Republican gap. But that's before the campaign began. That's before we've started telling everyone the truth about Becerra, and it's before we launched our campaign actually in Boyle Heights. You were talking about that awful warehouse fire and the ongoing problems there. That is a Latino working class community that's been abandoned by the Democratic Party, and it's a symbol of how working class people and small business owners and the Latino community in California has been abandoned. We've got the highest cost of living in the country, highest unemployment rate, highest poverty rate. Our message is very simple. Enough is enough. Let's fix California. My plan is very simple. Let's make our state Cal-affordable. $3 gas, cut utility bills in half, your first 150 grand tax-free starter homes for young families. We're just at the start of our campaign. I'm very confident because there's a majority of Californians who know we need change, who want change, and we're going to speak to them in this election.
Let's say you can get past this thought that California is a Democratic state and you do get elected governor. In about 1 minute, tell me what you could actually accomplish, given that you have so many Democrats in the legislature.
You see, I always think of it this way. It's the golden state, and we've got to make it truly golden for everybody. And I think that once I'm elected, that will be a shock. I know nobody expects it right now, but once we get these arguments out there to people, that we can actually cut their cost of living and make life a little less of a struggle in California, I think there will be Democrats in the legislature who have common sense ideas that we can work with. But the most important point is that actually as the governor, you run the executive branch, hundreds of state agencies, thousands of appointments. It's these agencies that are loading up the cost and the hassle, the regulations on small business, the cost of gas, electric bills that are more than double the national average. That's coming out of these bureaucratic agencies, and I'm going to go in there, clean it all out, bring some common sense and reduce people's costs.
Real quick, we're running out of time, but do you plan, kind of have a game plan like Schwarzenegger had when he was elected, a lot of executive orders?
Oh, for sure. But I also want to make sure that we use, we work with everyone in Sacramento who wants to change California for the better, including the budget. Remember, it's the governor who sets the budget. The budget has doubled in the last 10 years. Everything's worse, not better. We're going to cut that back so we can cut taxes. As I said, your first 150 grand tax-free.
Okay.
Steve Hilton, thank you for coming in.
Great to see you. Thank you.
It's kind of around the corner, as
exactly. Less than 100 days to go, so we're fighting hard.
Thank you so much.
The doctor who served as point man for the government's efforts on the COVID-19 pandemic will face tough questioning on Capitol Hill tomorrow. Anthony Fauci will also have to answer for the recent revelations from his personal journal. Fox's Chad Pergram has a preview.
Democrats dodging when asked questions about Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Senator Slotkin, can we ask you about the Fauci hearing tomorrow?
Republicans will question Fauci about him lobbying NIH colleagues to nominate him for a $1 million prize from Tel Aviv University, even though Fauci was one of the nation's top paid health figures.
He got $1 million prize, but we have conversations where he's telling other people to NIH to nominate him. Why wouldn't we want him to be allowed to have $1 million prize? That just boggles my mind.
Republicans say the diaries reveal what Fauci is all about.
I always knew he was a megalomaniac. I knew he was lying repeatedly.
The country's current top health official says Fauci was more concerned with good copy rather than fighting COVID.
His focus was on promoting himself, on getting on TV, and not doing public health.
Democrats have historically defended Fauci.
He is not a comic book supervillain. He did not fund research to create the COVID-19 pandemic.
Republicans contend Democrats granted Fauci exalted status.
Anthony Fauci was a little bit of their spiritual messiah. He was the reason I ran for office.
Expect Republicans to try to tear Fauci apart in the hearing.
He's got a lot to answer for. He was a very arrogant guy.
Fauci appears under subpoena at the hearing. Former President Biden granted him a preemptive pardon, but Paul says he could target Fauci if he fails to tell the truth. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's check in one last time in this hour with meteorologist Star Harvey.
Let's talk about what's happening across the nation here, not just our heat wave, but also our pretty hazardous waters or coastline for the West Coast this week, but a little bit of that wet weather moving across the central portions of our country here. So Colorado seeing some of that wet weather, some of it moving into that Oklahoma panhandle there, but also into Kansas. Now, as we shift over to the East Coast, you got friends and family across the tri-state, maybe checking in on them because we do have the possibility of some of that flood activity, but also some severe thunderstorms igniting across the area. The deep south to Texas, portions of Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, they're seeing conditions similar to what we'll see come later this week. Now we're tracking not just the heat, but also a system, a Hurricane Genevieve, known as, bringing in some of that hazardous water conditions a little bit throughout the week here. As we track our dangerous whip currents, we're also looking at large breaking waves in our beach statement. And then as we move into tomorrow, we are seeing that wave potential going up to 5 to 8 feet, which during that high tide cycle could also cause some of that minor coastal flooding. So we will have these advisories in place to accompany our heat at least into the start of our weekend. Now, the month of July has really just been inundated with a lot of heat. Our normal for today, 83 degrees across the downtown LA area. You'll see that across this month, wherever we have the red boxes, indicated that our temperatures came in above their normal. So a lot of that, very little times that we have our temperatures fall below their normal, and that is indicated by the blue boxes here. Today, we did have those temperatures above their normal, 83 degrees there. Today, we brought it up to 88 degrees. It's a little bit cooler than where we were yesterday. Yesterday we saw 91 degrees, but still a lot of heat really packing in across the area. And it will continue that way, although from today through at least Thursday, our temperatures should be on the cooler side, especially when we look at what's to come. We're still tracking 80-degree temperatures for tomorrow and Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, temperatures in the 90s. And if you are in the valleys or the Inland Empire, get ready for those triple-digit markings as early as Thursday through your weekend as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Star. A heads up for those spending time outdoors. Rattlesnakes are on the move here in Southern California. Due to the heat, they're being spotted in unexpected places, not just on the hiking trails, even on suburban streets. Here's Fox 11's Gina Silva with details from Camarillo.
It's not something you see every day. What appears to be two rattlesnakes lifting their bodies several feet off the ground and swaying back and forth as they face one another. Tony D'Amore was driving to work when he witnessed the wild scene.
Yeah, they were like twisting, almost like braiding together, and it was really weird.
It happened around 9 Tuesday morning. Tony pulled out his cell phone and captured what experts describe as a combat dance between two male rattlesnakes.
They were just in the bike lane of a very busy road. So that was Lynn and Las Brisas where they intersect.
If you see a rattlesnake, you don't want to tangle with it.
Lee Cantrell with the California Poison Control System says the agency has received about 250 calls involving rattlesnake bites in the first 6 months of this year. 3 people have also died.
This is unprecedented for us. I have been doing this job for 30 years, and I can only remember maybe 2 or 3 rattlesnake-related deaths in my whole career.
In one recent incident, a woman in Stevenson Ranch was rushed to the ICU and left with a swollen foot after she says she was bitten while tending to her flowers.
If we give enough antivenom, it will neutralize the circulating venom, and people tend to do pretty well.
If you run into a snake while hiking, don't panic. Most snakes are harmless. It's the rattlesnakes you need to be cautious around.
The only venomous snake we have in California are rattlesnakes, and they have rattles on their tails as a warning.
It was unbelievable.
For Tony, who captured a rare moment in the wild on a busy Thousand Oaks street, it's something he'll never forget.
I expect to see a snake here and there, especially now it's the season. But seeing the 2 of them kind of standing up like cobras, like we don't have cobras, so what's going on?
Lee Cantrell says snakes go where the food is, and that's why it's so important to get rid of rodents near your property to keep those snakes away. I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
A Southern California aquarium is giving visitors an up-close look at one of the ocean's rarest predators. The Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History Sea Center has a new exhibit featuring endangered sunflower sea stars. These invertebrates were once common along the West Coast, but their population is in jeopardy after a deadly disease outbreak more than a decade ago. Scientists say the species plays a critical role in keeping sea urchin populations under control and in helping protect California's kelp forest and the marine life that depends on them. We'll be right back. Well, the water's back on for residents and visitors in Anaheim. Earlier tonight, parts of downtown, State College Boulevard, and the area near Disneyland all lost water. The city says it was due to technical problems and several groundwater wells are to blame. Some Disneyland guests also reported bathroom access issues. And happening tomorrow, the buck moon will peak around 7:30 in the morning. That's according to the Old Farmer's Almanac, named for the time that male deer grow antlers. Experts say it'll rise low in the eastern sky and should be easy to spot if you're in a low light area with clear skies. Thanks for watching LA Live News tonight. Our 10 p.m. newscast just minutes away over on Fox 11. See you there. Have a good night.
We begin with Sky Fox over a dramatic rescue in Sylmar tonight. This after a car plunged 25 feet into the wash. Nearly 40 LA City firefighters rushing to the scene, working quickly to free the driver who was trapped inside. Crews safely airlifted the patient out before taking them to a nearby hospital. The cause is still under investigation. We're also following developing news out of Anaheim. A water pressure problem affecting Disneyland, Angel Stadium, and nearby neighborhoods. The issue caused by faulty groundwater well pumps began around 6 tonight. Crews responded by drawing water from the Colorado River, which improved pressure. Disneyland reported minor disruptions, but resolved them by 8 tonight. Anaheim officials say normal water service has been restored. Welcome to Good Night LA. I'm Christine Devine. An FBI search warrant served at a San Bernardino supervisor's home. A new video you'll only see on Fox. Fox 11's Laura Diaz live with what we know so far.
Yes, Christine, as you just mentioned, one of those search warrants was served at the home of a San Bernardino County supervisor. Now, neighbors in the area confirmed that residence to us. They all gathered on the street and watched and commented.
It was really shocking to see everybody here today, all the FBI agents and all the sheriffs, stuff like that. It looks like they just served a search warrant early this morning, and they confiscated all kinds of stuff from his home.
This video shows federal agents at the home linked to County Board of Supervisor Kurt Hagman. Agents were seen at the large home for hours in the 3000 block of Biscayne Street. At times, they were seen carrying out boxes. Fox 11 contacted the FBI regarding the execution of the warrants. We were told the warrant is under seal and they couldn't comment on the nature of the investigation. Hagman is the San Bernardino County Supervisor for the 4th District. He also serves as VP of the powerful Ontario International Airport Authority. A second warrant was served at Monterey Place in Ontario. Later Tuesday afternoon, I rang the bell to the home, no answer. But a man did emerge from the home later, walking toward us. As we came into focus, he looked and then turned away as I attempted to make contact. Excuse me, sir. Sir, Laura Diaz, Fox 11. Sir, would you talk to us? That same neighbor told us that he thought, in fact, Hagman was a very good neighbor. He said that he was active in getting street lights installed and the streets paved. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live from Chino, sending it back to the studio.
Thank you, Laura. No word yet if that search was in any way related to another search warrant served today at a Beverly Hills mansion. Again, no details released about the nature of the investigation because it is under seal. A severe green bottle fly infestations plaguing Boyle Heights following last month's massive cold storage fire. Millions of pounds of spoiled food remain trapped inside the warehouse. Neighbors are demanding mandatory evacuations, saying foul odors, smoke, and swarming flies have made their homes unlivable. One woman said her son had 4 nosebleeds after returning home. The warehouse owner Lineage claims extra pest control traps are already in place and has applied for a permit to rebuild despite objections from many residents at an LA supervisors meeting. Universal Studios has a new Fast and Furious roller coaster ride, but some people who live nearby say they're hearing the screams from the riders. They're testing it right now. We go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos in Universal City with the latest. Ed.
And Christine, it is all about the new Fast and Furious ride, the only outdoor roller coaster in all of the park here at Universal Studios Hollywood. Joe, take us into the story. We'll look across Lancashire. The park closed an hour ago, but there it is in the darkness. You can still see the sprawling tracks of that roller coaster. They've been running test flights, test drives, really, test runs over the last couple of hours without any riders on board. But when there are riders, there are screams. Watch. Just some of the screams echoing out. No wonder a neighbor here says it's like Halloween all year long.
When you hear always screams, that can be annoying. Yeah.
Especially at night?
Yes, definitely. It's like Halloween all year long.
Right in your backyard.
Right, yeah. And that's not cool.
And we could hear the screams, and it was pretty intense.
Yeah, I kept bringing up that I just couldn't believe that we just kept hearing it throughout the entire walk that we were on.
Oh, they can hear it and see it from their neighborhood here on Valley Spring Lane. It's across from the Lakeside Golf Course. Now you can see it, the new Fast and Furious roller coaster at Universal Studios Hollywood. This from an apparent soft launch of the ride Monday. It's the park's first outdoor roller coaster. That's important as it rockets its riders on a sprawling track from the upper to lower levels of the park, all at high speeds, all with its twists and its turns and its screams.
People screaming, it sounded so loud. It sounded like the ride was maybe like a lot closer than what it actually is.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that it seems far away, but it actually sounds like it's rather close.
And they're all the way across that golf course here in Toluca Lake. Universal continues testing the ride. Here running the cars with no riders on board. See, they're empty this earlier today. And it's installed these large sound barriers. See them down there? Hoping to block out much of the noise. But it is the screams that sound out the loudest.
But it does echo across, especially with the open golf course here. You have an open expanse of land and you have an elevated sound source, so it does carry.
It does carry, he says. Now you're looking live. Fast and Furious ride. The neighbors are there on the back side of the ride that you're looking at now over on the golf course side, the Toluca Lake side. They say they're planning a neighborhood meeting later this week, stressing they've really had a good relationship with Universal through the years, even before that attraction even broke ground where they started building it. And the neighbors say they hope to get together with the park and work out something so everybody's happy with it. The ride is working well and the screams are muffled. The neighbors are hopeful. For now, we're live here, Universal City. Back to the west side we go.
All right, Ed, thanks for that update there. The man accused of ordering the 1996 murder of hip-hop legend Tupac Shakur was back in a Las Vegas courtroom earlier today. A judge denied a defense request to block a key recording in the trial of Dwayne Davis. Davis's attorney argued the 2008 police recording was made without his knowledge, but the judge ruled it admissible. Another motion about hearsay testimony is still under debate.
Everyone who's going to get up there have the ability to say what they're going to say. I go after it, but not on something like this, where I have to go after and chase rabbits through the snow, trying to figure out how I'm going to tell this jury why you can't believe that snitch itself on the stand.
Prosecutors say the testimony could reveal gang conflicts tied to Shakur's death. With the trial 2 weeks away, tensions are already high in court. A former aide to Governor Gavin Newsom has detailed their affair from over 20 years ago. In a Vanity Fair essay, Ruby Rippey revealed how the relationship, which began when Newsom was a San Francisco mayor, fueled her struggle with alcohol and became a turning point in her life. Newsom apologized publicly years ago, calling it a brief affair. She has emphasized personal accountability, but noted the power imbalance. She's been sober for 20 years and rebuilt her life. Tonight, residents in West Hollywood are voicing safety concerns over this: a pack of coyotes living in an abandoned construction site. It's near Romaine Street and North Spalding Avenue. Neighbors say the coyotes have been roaming the area for months, alarming pet owners and sparking calls for intervention from city officials. We'll be right back.